Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. Continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 14, Pregnancy of Diti in the Evening, text number 33 onwards. Ditistu vridita tena karmavaddena bharata upsangamya viprashim adhomukhya vibhashata. O son of the Bharat family, Diti after this went nearer to her husband. Her face lowered because of her faulty action. She spoke as follows. When one is ashamed of an abominable action, one naturally becomes down-faced. Diti came to her senses after the abominable sexual intercourse with her husband. Such sexual intercourse is condemned as prostitution. In other words, sex life with one's wife is equal to prostitution if the regulations are not properly followed. So she didn't follow the regulations properly. She got so much of influenced by the Cupid that she had the union at the wrong time. He insisted the union at the wrong time. Although Kashyapuni tried to dissuade her, but she didn't listen. So now she was feeling ashamed afterwards. Detiruvacha nabe garbam imam brahman bhutanam rishabo avadhit rudra patirhi bhutanam yasya karvam ahansaham. The beautiful Diti said, My dear Brahman, kindly see that my embryo is not killed by Lord Shiva, the Lord of all living entities, because of the great offense I have committed against him. Diti was conscious of her offense and was anxious to be excused by Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva has two popular names, Rudra and Ashutosh. He is very prone to anger as well as quickly pacified. Diti knew that because of his being quickly angered, he might spoil the pregnancy she had so unlawfully achieved. But because he was also Ashutosh, she implored her Brahman husband to help her in pacifying Lord Shiva. For her husband was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. In other words, Lord Shiva might have been angry with Diti because she obliged her husband to transgress the law, but he would not refuse her husband's prayer. Therefore, the application of her excuse was submitted through her husband. She prayed to Lord Shiva as follows. So she was afraid Lord Shiva might get angry because his name is Rudra. He is Rudra. Because of all the people, Kashyap Muni and Diti were supposed to follow the laws. And Kashyap Muni being brother-in-law of Lord Shiva, being a devotee of Lord Shiva, he was supposed to follow. So now he's asking Kashyap Muni to ask Lord Shiva to forgive them for this transgression of law. Text 35. Namo Rudraya Mahate Devayo Graya Milushe Shivaya Nyasta Dandaya Dhrita Dandaya Manyave. Let me offer my obeisances. Now she is also offering her obeisances unto Lord Shiva. Let me offer my obeisances unto angry Lord Shiva, who is simultaneously the very ferocious great demigod and the fulfiller of all material desires. He is all auspicious and forgiving, but his anger can immediately move him to chastise. Diti prayed for the mercy of Lord Shiva very cleverly. She prayed, the Lord can cause me to cry, but if he likes, he can also stop my crying, because he is Ashutosh. He's so he's so great that if he likes, he can immediately he excuse me, just hang on. He's so great that if he likes, he can immediately destroy my pregnancy. But by his mercy, he can also fulfill my desire that my pregnancy not be spoiled. Because he is all auspicious, it's not difficult for him to excuse me from being punished, although he is now ready to punish me because I have moved his great anger. He appears like a man, but he is the Lord of all men. So very cleverly she is praying that Lord Shiva, although he gets angry very fast and he can destroy my pregnancy, but he's at the same time Ashutosh. He gets pleased very fast, and his name is Shiva. Shiva, actually, the word Shiva means all auspicious. So since he is all auspicious, so he will be auspicious for my pregnancy. स न प्रसीदतां भामो भगवानुर्वन अनुग्रह व्याध्यस्या अपि अनुकम्प्यानां स्त्रीणां देवः सतीपतिः. Let him be pleased with us, since he is my brother-in-law, the husband of my sister Sati. He is also the worshipable Lord of all women. He is a personality of all opulences and can show mercy towards women who are excused even by the uncivilized hunters. Lord Shiva is the husband of Sati, one of the sisters of Diti. Diti invoked the pleasure of her sister Sati so that Sati would request her husband to excuse her. Besides that, Lord Shiva is worshipable Lord of all women. He is naturally very kind towards women, on whom even the uncivilized hunters also show their mercy. Since Lord Shiva is himself associated with women, he knows very well their defective nature, and he might not take very seriously Diti's unavoidable offense, which occurred due to her faulty nature. Every virgin girl is supposed to be a devotee of Lord Shiva. Diti remembered her childhood worship of Lord Shiva and begged his mercy. Some place Prabhupada did mention that every virgin girl before marriage they keep this vrata for 16 Mondays. So they go and worship Lord Shiva every Monday for 16 times, 16 Mondays, and then in order to get a very suitable husband. And Diti remembered this from her childhood worship, and she's begging his mercy. Maitrevacha स्वसर्गस्याशिषं लोक्याम् आशासानं प्रवेपतिं निवृत्तसन्ध्या नियमो भार्यमः प्रजापतिः. Maitreya said, the great sage Kashyap thus addressed his wife, who was trembling because of fear that her husband was offended. She understood that he had been dissuaded from his daily duties of offering evening prayers, yet she desired the welfare of her children in the world. So she's afraid of her husband also. Kashyap uvacha aprayathyad atmanaste doshanmohurtikaduta mani deshati charena devanam chati helana. The learned Kashyap said, because of your minds being polluted, because of defilement of the particular time, because of your negligence of my directions, and because of your being apathetic to the demigods, everything was inauspicious. So time was wrong, mind was polluted, she neglected her husband's instructions, and she didn't care for the demigods. So everything was inauspicious. The conditions for having good progeny in society are that the husband should be disciplined in religious and regulative principles, and the wife should be faithful to the husband. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that the sexual intercourse, according to religious principles, is a representation of Krishna consciousness. So Krishna says in 7:11 that I am the sex life, which is not contrary to the religious principles. Before engaging in sexual intercourse, both the husband and wife must consider their mental condition, the particular time, the husband's direction, and obedience to the demigods. According to Vedic society, there is a suitable, auspicious time for sex life, which is called the time for Garbhadan. Diti neglected all the principles of scriptural injunctions, and therefore, although she was very anxious for auspicious children, she was informed that her children would not be worthy to be the sons of a Brahman. There is a clear indication herein that a Brahman son is not always a Brahman. Personalities like Ravan and Hiranyakashipu were actually born of Brahmins, but they were not accepted as personalities as Brahman because their fathers did not follow the regulative principles for their birth. Such children are called demons or Rakshasas. There were only one or two Rakshasas in the previous ages due to negligence of the disciplinary methods. But during the age of Kali, there is no discipline in sex life. How then can one expect good children? Certainly unwanted children cannot be source of happiness in the society. But through the Krishna consciousness movement, they can be raised to the human standard by chanting the holy names of God. That is a unique contribution of Lord Chaitanya to human society. So this system of union at the proper time is very important, and the proper frame of mind. So that's why it's called Garbhadan Sanskar. Everything is Sanskar. It's a purificatory process. so that a good child is born, a good soul, a pious soul enters that home. But since in previous days there were not too many exceptions, few exceptions like here, Ravan, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, and few others happened. But like Prabhupada in Kali Yuga, practically everybody is engaged in this kind of activities. There is no proper rules that people follow these days. But by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's only the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that children, although they're not born with the proper consciousness, proper sanskaras, but still they can be elevated by mercy of Mahaprabhu and by mercy of chanting of the holy names. So important it is. Bhavishyatastava bhadrava bhadre jataradhamo lokan sapala strish chandi muhur urakrandayeshitaha. O haughty one, you will have two contemptuous sons born of your condemned womb. Unlucky women, they will cause constant lamentation to all the three worlds. Contemptuous sons are born of the condemned womb of their mother. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said, when there is deliberate negligence of the regulative principles of religious life, the women as a class become polluted, and as a result, there are unwanted children. This is what Arjuna was afraid of, this Varna Sankar, he said. So unwanted progeny or unqualified progeny. This is especially true for boys. If the mother is not good, they cannot be good sons. The learned Kashyap could foresee the character of the sons who would be born of the condemned womb of Diti. The womb was condemned because of the mothers being too sexually inclined and thus transgressing all the laws and injunctions of the scriptures. In a society where such women are predominant, one should not expect good children. So, this is pretty much the scene all over the world these days. Transgressing all the laws and injunctions of the scriptures, boys and girls, they are having children, and of course, so many times they abort them, and whatever is left, whoever takes birth, actually is not properly situated. And when good children are not there, then how can we expect a good society? That's never going to happen. Praninam hanya mananam dinanam akritajasam strinam nigriya mananam gopiteshu mahatmasu. They will kill poor, faultless living entities, torture women, and enrage the great souls. So he's foretelling about these two boys who are going to be born, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Demoniac activities are predominant when innocent, faultless living entities are killed, women are tortured, and the great souls engaged in Krishna consciousness are enraged. In a demoniac society, innocent animals are killed to satisfy the tongue, and women are tortured by unnecessary sexual indulgence. Where there are women and meat, there must be liquor and sex indulgence. And definitely there will be gambling. When these are prominent in society by God's grace, one can expect a change in the social order by the Lord Himself or by His bona fide representative. This is society, we can just see how the society has degraded. And it is mentioned in Bhagavatam. Poor, faultless living entities, animals are being killed, slaughtered. Not just killed, slaughtered in slaughterhouses. And just for the taste of the tongue, their flesh is being eaten, and the women are unnecessarily engaged in sexual indulgence, and the liquor is being drunk, and the gambling has to be there when all these things are there. So much liquor gets drunk by people all over the world. Like we were discussing the other day in one of the classes. It's amazing and it's crazy, and it's so expensive. Still, people drink it. They don't get any benefit out of it. There is no benefit, none. But still, people go crazy about liquor, alcohol drinking. Just like I was told that last year, I haven't gotten the report of this year, but last year in Christmas party, because we have a back office in Poland. So in the Poland office, Christmas party, there must be total of maybe 400 or 450 people, because husband and wives both were invited. And you won't imagine, one night, 250 liters of vodka was consumed by them. I don't know what kind of fun they were getting out of it. And they were telling me they were drinking vodka inside, and outside it was snowing. So they would come out in the snow and they would throw up because so much of vodka nobody can digest. And then they will again go inside and drink more. I was like, please don't invite me for such Christmas party. What kind of Christmas party is that? But this was their thing for entertainment, for enjoyment. And this we are talking just one Christmas party or New Year party. There must be so many all over the world going on. So much of drinking. तदा विश्वेश्वरः क्रुद्धो भगवान् लोकभावनः अनिश्यते अवतीर्यासो यथा द्रेन् शतवर्धका. At that time, the Lord of the universe, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the well-wisher of all living entities, will descend and kill them, just as Indra smashes the mountains with his thunderbolts. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord descends as an incarnation to deliver the devotees and kill the miscreants. The Lord of the universe and of everything would appear to kill the sons of Diti because of their offending the devotees of the Lord. There are many agents of the Lord, such as Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Goddess Durga, and Kali, who can chastise any formidable miscreants in the world. The example of mountains being smashed by a thunderbolt is very appropriate. The mountain is considered the most strongly built body within the universe. Yet it can be easily smashed by the arrangement of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord does not need to descend in order to kill any strongly built body. So mountain is a living entity with a very strong body. But even the heads of the mountains are smashed by the thunderbolt of Indra. Actually, it's not mentioned here, but some of the plays, the mountains used to fly from one place to another. And where they would land, they would kill so many living entities. And Indra got angry. And he, first of all, he cut off the wings of the mountains with this thunderbolt. And then he smashed the head part, the top part, peaks of the mountain. Actually, this was shown by Prabhupada once in New Vrindavan. In New Vrindavan, devotees had purchased a huge piece of property, about 5,000 acres of land. And it had mountains, not big mountains, small hills were there. So devotees went to Prabhupada, because we want to do some farming here. So we have to go on top of the hills and flatten the land so we can do some farming over there. Prabhupada said, don't bother about flattening the land because Indra has already done that. He smashes the peaks of the mountains with his thunderbolt. And when the devotees went up on the hill and they saw it was flat, and they were surprised, but Prabhupada already knew that. So Indra does that as a service to the Lord. The Supreme Lord does not need to descend in order to kill any strongly built body. He comes down just for the sake of his devotees. Everyone is subject to the miseries offered by material nature. But because the activities of miscreants, such as killing innocent people and animals or torturing women, are harmful to everyone and are therefore a source of pain for the devotees, the Lord comes down. He descends only to give relief to his ardent devotees. The killing of the miscreant by the Lord is also the mercy of the Lord towards the miscreant, although apparently the Lord takes the side of the devotee. Since the Lord is absolute, there is no difference between his activities of killing the miscreants and favoring the devotees. So the Lord appears not only to kill the miscreants, because that can be done easily by any of the energies of the Lord, but his main purpose is to favor the devotees. He comes down just for the sake of his devotees, because he does not like anybody torturing or giving a hard time to his devotees. And moreover, he not for the sake of the devotees who are present, who are getting disturbed by these demons, but he comes for the sake of the devotees who are going to come in the future, because then in the future they can sit and talk about these pastimes, hear these pastimes, and get purified. Dhitiruvacha vadam bhagavata sakshat sunabhodar bahuna ashasya putriyor mayam ma kruddhad brahmanad prabho. Diti said, "It's very good that my sons will be magnanimously killed by the arms of the personality of Godhead with a Sudarshan weapon. O my husband, may they never be killed by the wrath of the Brahman devotees." She's praying that let them be killed by the Supreme Lord, not by the wrath of the Brahman devotees. Because if they were killed by the wrath of the Brahman devotees or by the devotees, then they will definitely go to hell. When Diti heard from her husband that the great souls would be that the great souls would be angered by the activities of her sons, she was very anxious. She thought that her sons might be killed by the wrath of the Brahmins. The Lord does not appear when the Brahmins become angry at someone, because the wrath of a Brahman is sufficient in itself. He certainly appears, however, when his devotee simply becomes sorry. A devotee of the Lord never prays to the Lord to appear for the sake of the troubles the miscreants cause for him, and he never bothers him by asking for protection. Rather, the Lord is anxious to give protection to the devotees. Diti knew well that the killing of her sons by the Lord would also be his mercy, and therefore she says that the wheel and the arms of the Lord are magnanimous. If someone is killed by the wheel of the Lord and is fortunate enough to see the arms of the Lord, that is sufficient for his liberation. Such good fortune is not achieved even by the great sages. So she knew very well all these scriptural injunctions about the killing by the hands of the Lord. She knew other scriptural injunctions also, but at that time, somehow by Krishna's arrangement, she just couldn't control herself. So anyway, I think I'll stop here. I'm getting lots of cough here. I cannot speak properly. So anybody has any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for this wonderful discussion on this topic. Basically, we don't get to discuss this topic too often, but this chapter is really very nice. A lot of things are cleared by Diti Mataji, and it's okay that your throat has been very bad since you started. I thought you should stop. You should stop. I've been asking you.
Yeah, I'm doing my healing, but somehow it just
Yeah,
didn't work right now.
sometimes we are not able to cope up, though we are doing something to relieve our stress. Sometimes the stress is too much. So please take care, Prabhu. It's very cold,
Yeah.
even
It's
in
not
Delhi.
cold. It just dry cough. I don't know what somehow.
Yeah, I think Mosmi Mataji can give you some kind of medicine, homemade medicine. She's also expert in treating dry cough.
Oh, okay, that'll be great.
She's in the class. Maybe she can give some advice.
Yeah, I can ask her after the class.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Thank you all very much. You all have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Prabhupada.